Imagine being in the hospital with a newborn baby boy, preparing to go home, and then being told your baby is being moved to NICU because he has hemophilia and is bleeding internally in his abdomen. This happened to me when my son was born. He has hemophilia B. My brother has the same disorder. I will share with you what hemophilia is, learning to live with this disorder, and how it is treated. Hemophilia is a blood clotting disorder, and with proper medical treatment, this disorder can be effectively managed in daily life. I'll begin with a brief explanation of what hemophilia is. Most people are not familiar with it. If they've even heard the word, they're not really sure what it is. I know this because I have to constantly explain it to people. My son has moderate hemophilia B, a factor IX deficiency. A simple way to explain this is he is severely deficient in one of the proteins his body uses to form a blood clot. There are two types of hemophilia, A and B. A is factor VIII, B is factor IX. These are the names of the proteins used to form a blood clot. Hemophilia is a rare disorder. It mainly affects males, although there are rare cases in females. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hemophilia A occurs 1 in 5,000 live male births. Hemophilia A is about 4 times as common as B. The number of people with hemophilia in the U.S. is estimated to be about 20,000. Hemophilia is a genetic disorder, meaning it is passed from a mother's X chromosome. When a female is a carrier, there is a 50-50 chance of her baby boy being born with hemophilia, and a 50-50 chance of her female baby being a carrier. There are cases of hemophilia developing without a family history. This is called gene mutation. For some reason, the gene mutates. Often these are some of the more severe cases. This is a brief explanation of what hemophilia is. Now let me explain how it impacts a hemophiliac's daily life. People with hemophilia must learn to recognize bleeds and what to do when they occur. They do not bleed harder or faster, but bleed for a longer period of time. Their bodies have the ability to start a blood clot to stop bleeding, but they do not have the ability to finish it. Therefore, bleeding continues. Without medicine to stop the bleeding, a hemophiliac would bleed to death in a lot of cases or cause damage to the affected part of their body. An ordinary cut or scrape is no different for someone with hemophilia. The area of concern is internally, joints, muscles, and tendons. When there is trauma to one of these areas, there will be swelling, the area feels warm to the touch, and it becomes very painful if left untreated. If the same area is affected over and over, after many years, arthritis may set in a joint. This is why prompt and continued treatment is of the utmost importance. Physical activity and exercise is important for the well-being of hemophiliacs. By staying physically active, muscles and joints are in better condition, and this reduces the amount of spontaneous bleeds. But care must be taken in choosing what sport to participate in. Activities such as football, hockey, wrestling, and boxing are not good choices, but hemophiliacs may participate in swimming, golfing, and even baseball and basketball, although precautions should be taken. Each person will have to learn his body and determine the risks and benefits associated with the chosen sport. When making decisions, Alice Anderson, in the publication Playing It Safe, Bleeding Disorders, Sports and Exercise, offers the following. One view is that prohibiting participation in any sport will eliminate the risk of injury. Another view is that refusing permission to participate might frustrate teens, making them less likely to cooperate with their parents and healthcare staff. Therefore, the benefits must outweigh the risks of any activity chosen. In any case, with proper treatment and wise choices, sports can be enjoyed and be a part of their lives. With the need for treatment being discussed, let me present how hemophilia is treated. Treatment is administered in the form of an intravenous injection. There have been great advances in the treatment of this disorder in recent times. In the past, it was treated with blood transfusions, which caused many problems. Most treatment now is in the form of recombinant factor concentrates. According to the Hemophilia Federation of America, these products are manufactured using hamster cells. Manufacturers inject hamster cells with the factor gene so that large amounts of factor protein can be produced. Since the proteins are extracted from animal cells, there are not any human viruses, which in the past caused many problems. Because of the manufacturing process, these products are very expensive, but are a necessary part of survival for hemophiliacs. In today's world, insurance is an absolute for anyone with hemophilia. The amount of drug used depends on the patient's weight. At the present time, one dose of factor for my 16-year-old son costs about $8,000. In the last year, we went through about $400,000 worth of factor. Depending on the severity of hemophilia in a person, there are two regimens of treatment. One is prophylaxis, meaning treatment infusions are given as a preventative measure, usually twice a week. The other form is on-demand treatment, meaning infusions are given when an injury occurs. The decision on how to treat is decided between the patient and/or his parents and the doctors involved. As hemophiliacs get older, they will learn to self-infuse. This means they will give themselves a shot in their own vein. It can be a scary thought for someone to give themselves an infusion, but it is necessary in order to gain independence. My son has recently learned to do this because he knows he wants to go to college soon and wants to be on his own. In closing, I hope that you have learned what hemophilia is and how those affected by it live their daily lives. I have described what hemophilia is, how hemophiliacs learn to live with it, and how it is treated. Although it was a scary time when my son was in NICU, he has learned to live with this and can do most things in life. We've faced injuries and setbacks along the way, but above all, we know God is taking care of him.